kid, one of my favorite movies was The Never-Ending Story. I love that movie. Those of you who were around in the 80s, you probably remember that movie. It's about a kid who's reading a book, and what he's reading is like the content of the movie. It's, to this day, I love that movie. And there's a scene in the movie where the main character, whose name is Atreyu, needs to go see the Oracle. And it's a real big important scene in the movie where he's got to go to the Oracle to get an answer to this huge question, which I won't say what the question is, but he's got to go to the Oracle and he's got to get an answer to how to save his world, basically. I won't say exactly, but he's got how to save his world. And this Oracle, nobody can get through it. When you try to go through this gate to get to the Oracle, when you try to go through this gate to get to where he's trying to go, nobody can get through it. Like every time someone has tried to pass through it, this thing comes out and shoots lasers at them and destroys them. And Atreyu has got to go through this gate because he's got to see the Oracle so he can ask how does he save his world. So as he's going through the gate, as he's going through this place that everybody else has perished at, he realizes that the lasers are about to come out and get him too, and he pauses and he freezes. And then you can hear the little kid who's reading the book that is all of this start screaming, "Be confident, be confident, be confident." And then Atreyu, he accepts his confidence and he runs and runs and runs. He jumps and the laser beams miss him, and he successfully has made it past this treacherous place on his way to the Oracle. And I've always remembered that because, sometimes confidence is the necessary thing and not a technique. So the most important question you can ask in solution-focused brief therapy is any question you ask with confidence towards the client's desired outcome. I could ask the exact same question with confidence versus without confidence, and it changes the entire dynamic of the conversation. Because if I say, "What are your best hopes from our talking?" it sounds like I expect that you have an answer, I expect that you're capable of delivering that answer to me, and I have the reasonable expectation that in delivering the answer is the potentiality that change will happen. If I say, "What are your best hopes from our talking?" it doesn't sound like I know what I'm doing. It doesn't sound like I'm comfortable in doing what I'm doing. And you have to be able to apply this approach and ask your questions with confidence. Because sometimes the missing ingredient is not a technique. The missing ingredient is you. This week I have two friends really close to me, and we were talking about, being yourself and being confident in being yourself in the therapy session and the impact that it has. It allows you to be flexible. It allows you to be yourself. As I teach solution-focused brief therapy, I show videos of myself doing this approach, and I talk about the way that I do it because that's what I know best, obviously. I studied SFBT, so I know it from my perspective and thus teach it from my perspective. And I try to broaden it as best I can, but if I'm going to talk about how to ask questions and how to apply this approach, the best thing I do is teach it from my perspective because obviously I'm me, that's the thing I know best. But I'm not doing that in any way so that people would replicate what I'm doing, or I'm not trying to transform people into doing what I do necessarily, but it's a natural process in learning any skill. Whenever you're introduced to the skill, a natural process is to try to replicate the expert or the master or the genius that introduced you to it. Like for me, the expert and the master and the true genius that introduced me to this approach was Linda Metcalf. So when I first started trying to do solution-focused brief therapy, I was replicating Linda Metcalf. But what I'm saying now is I want you to, the natural tendency to do that is fine, like that's what we do, but pursue confidence, get comfortable being yourself, and then eventually you just kind of graduate and you evolve away from replication towards your own genius and your own flexibility, and that's really when you have gained and attained mastery. As I'm recording this, in the next couple of days, I'm going to release a series of videos, give people the opportunity to watch solution-focused brief therapy in action with many different clients. But it's so important. Like, it's so important that you see the work. I even think it's an important step to, try to replicate the person that you're seeing, but I also want you to assume your own confidence so you can become yourself in the session, so you can acquire your own genius and your own mastery. And that's really what this process is all about. And just like Atreyu in the movie The Neverending Story, eventually you learn that you didn't need a technique to get yourself through the treacherous bit of the journey. What you needed was your own confidence. So go off and apply this approach with your confidence. And thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give me a like, give me a share, leave me a comment. I'd really love to discuss these things because I truly believe it. The most important question you can ask in solution-focused brief therapy is a question that you ask with confidence. Thank you.